A GMO, or genetically modified organism, is any organism that's genetic material has been altered using genetic engineering techniques. In some cases, these engineering techniques are used to create food produce that is larger, more weather resistant, such as in droughts or floods, or even better tasting for the consumer. Examples of genetically modified foods you may find in your daily life are corn, soy, cottonseed, papaya, rice, rapeseed, potatoes, tomatoes, dairy products, and peas. The first genetically modified food approved for release was the Flavor Saver tomato in 1994. Making a genetically modified plant consists of crossbreeding plants to get the ideal crop. The GMO controversy is a big issue in today's world. People are upset because genetically modified organisms are not found in nature and are created by scientists to increase the profit of produces. These processes can have unintended consequences, such as the chemicals used in GMO crops bleeding over to milkweed, therefore killing the monarch butterflies that feed on them, or the epidemic of deformed chickens in China and in America. There are both positive and negative effects of using GMO in our food today. Crops can create greater resistance to insects, greater tolerance to herbicides and harmful pesticides, as well as more tolerance for heat, cold, drought, and producing greater crop yield. However, bacteria can develop antibiotic resistance because of GMOs, and you can develop allergies and cancer. Here's a map showing where GMOs are used around the world. Some of the most interesting information here is that 39% of all GMOs in the world are found in the US, and that 96% of cotton produced in India is modified. Here's a graph from 2012 showing which countries use GMO the most. It's interesting to note where China and India stand here, as they are much higher on this graph now. This is a graph from 2011 showing which crops have been modified the most since 1992. Soy has always been at the top of this chart, but corn is beginning to rival it, and it's also worth noting that cotton has grown a lot. You may be wondering why this is relevant to you, and the answer is that GMO is taking over the world of agriculture, and while it might not be an entirely black and white issue, it can't be denied that changes in farming have unwanted effects on every aspect of your life. Research was conducted by Isabella, Sophia, and myself. Voiceover was all me, and editing was done by myself and my lovely sister Avery.